So today I'm talking about a Honda with the P0420 code, what it is and how you go about fixing it. And so what is a Honda P0420 code? Well, it's a catalyst system efficiency below threshold bank 1. And what does this mean? Well, there's sensors and they're located on the exhaust. And the sensors do two things. The first thing they do is they monitor how much oxygen was burnt off during combustion, and then the onboard computer uses that information to adjust the air-fuel ratio mixture that goes into the engine. And then the second thing they do is they also have heater elements built in, and these monitor the catalytic converter. And when the catalytic converter falls below a 95% efficiency, then it's going to send out a P0420 code. And so basically these two sensors are reporting back to the onboard computer that the catalytic converter is having a problem. And so what are some possible causes? Well, it could be an exhaust leak, could be a bad sensor, could be a bad catalytic converter, and it's also possible it could be an engine problem. But usually when that happens, you're going to get other codes. So if you are getting other codes like misfire codes or something like that, then be sure to pay attention to that. And bank 1 is always the side of the engine with the number 1 cylinder. So if you have a 4-cylinder, it wouldn't matter. You only have one bank. But if you have like a V6, then you want to find the number 1 cylinder, and that side of the engine is going to be bank 1, and that'll be the side that's having the problem. And so the first thing to do when you get this code is go look for any exhaust leaks, because any exhaust leaks is going to throw these sensors off. Go and check for any damage. Check around all the flanges and things like this. There's gaskets inside of here, and if those blow out, then it can cause an issue, because if air can get into the exhaust, then it can get in there and it can throw these sensors off. So first thing to do, go check and be sure you don't have an exhaust leak, because that can cause issues. And so if that all looks good, there's no exhaust leaks or nothing like that, then the next things that can cause this problem is that either catalytic converter's failed or one of these sensors has failed and it's reporting bad data back to the onboard computer. So there's some different ways you go about troubleshooting this. You could test the sensors, and if they test good, then you know it's the catalytic converter. You could test the catalytic converter, and if it tests good, then you know it's one of the sensors. There's some different ways you go about testing these sensors. There's some good videos on it. You can use an OBD2 scan tool. You can use a multimeter and things like this. There's also some different ways you go about testing the catalytic converter. Quite often when the catalytic converter has problems, it's become clogged up. And when it becomes clogged up, it's going to be hard for air to go through the catalytic converter. So the engine has to work harder to push the air out. And so because of that, the vehicle is going to have less power. So if you do have less power, or if you go to step on the gas and it just bogs down and it just doesn't take off like it should, then very likely that catalytic converter is having a problem. A common method mechanics use when they think the catalytic converter is clogged up is that they'll loosen up the bolts on the flanges before the catalytic converter so that air can flow out. It's not restricted. And then they'll drive the vehicle around the block or something. And if it has more power and it's taken off good and everything, then they know the catalytic converter is clogged up. Like I said, there's some different methods you can use to test the catalytic converter. There's a lot of good YouTube videos on that. But the next thing to go and do would be to test the sensors and find out if they failed, or test the catalytic converter and find out if it's failed. And so that's basically it. I just wanted to give a basic overview of how you go about fixing a Honda with the P0420 code. If you have anything to add, please comment down below. If you have any questions, ask me and I'll try to answer them. If this video helps you, please click like, please click subscribe, and have a good day.